She has served on the Collier County Commission since the year 2000. Our guest is Donna Fiala. Welcome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, the commissioners are still getting heavy-duty flack over the public financing for Jackson Laboratory. Are you hanging in there, or are you starting to rethink your position?
I'll tell you, I'm solid. What I see is I'd rather be paying $50 a year, which is about what it's going to be, than continue to keep people on welfare lines. This is a way to start employment almost immediately because the places have to be built. So before March 1st, according to the state requirements, the building has to begin. And so you've got about 400 people working to start building that huge building, from engineers and architects all the way down to the guys who are laying brick.
The $50 you mentioned, that's $50 per property owner?
Yes, per family, per residence,
Okay.
right.
Then that leads to, what do you know that we don't? Because we don't know yet where the public financing would come from. Would it be property tax, sales tax, some private financing, a mix of all that? Tell us what you know.
Well, you know, there's still negotiations going on, so I don't know where it's going to come out. But if we put it on your tax bill like we do the solid waste, if we solid waste pickup, you know, and that's what, $173 a year. By the way, we have the lowest in the entire state of Florida, just to brag a little bit. If we put it on your tax bill, it'll be about $50 per household. Okay. If we do it by utility bill, on say an electric bill, it'd be about $4 a month. You know, instead of having a Starbucks once a month, you know, it would go to that. But to me, it gets jobs into the marketplace right away and gets people off welfare lines.
So the taxpayers and the rest of the public should stay tuned. They will get to see all of the information that you're telling me about.
I can't understand why people want to keep people out of jobs.
Okay. The idea, okay, the majority, supermajority voting requirement on the board for the rezoning for the Jackson Laboratory project, it's a big deal, especially since the arrival or the impending arrival on the county commission of a new county commissioner, Georgia Hiller, who's not a fan of Jackson Laboratory. Okay, so we have a letter to the editor from a supporter of Georgia Hiller, Nick Hale, who says that if commissioners aren't capable of making that decision on their own, like should it be a majority or a supermajority for the rezoning, then the commissioners should resign.
I don't know why they're resisting sending this to a judge. To me, it takes it out of the realm of any partialities whatsoever. Nobody can be partial about anything. Give it to a judge, a retired judge who doesn't live here. We don't care who it is.
But his or her decision won't be binding. It'll be a recommendation to the board.
But then we have something from the legal field that says this is right or not right. Okay. You know, what's wrong with that?
If a judge comes back and says it only requires, well, are you saying that you'll go along with the judge regardless of what he or she may say?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, that's why we're asking them to make this decision, right?
Okay. Let me ask you, how are you reacting to the heat? I don't mean the heat outside.
I know what
the political heat.
I have never seen so many vitriolic, hateful people in my life. And yet, quietly, but in just as much of a mass, there are many, many people that are supportive. And I'm sure you know that too. You being one of them. You know, this is important to the future of our community, because now we're talking about industry for our community. And who prescribed this in the first place? It was Jeb Bush back in 2004, who said we need to change our industry to a year-round industry in the state of Florida, and we need to be the first ones to do that. And he was the one that put aside, what was it, $1.5 billion.
Statewide.
That's right, statewide, to become a biomedical state, because he saw that in the future we just can't survive. Say, for instance, Cuba lifts their bans and people start going to Cuba instead of tourism here. You know, we lose a lot because tourism, agriculture, affected by the weather, and now NAFTA, and construction, affected by the economy. If they go down the drain, there's nothing else but a biomedical state, so that people around the country, as soon as they think of biomedical, they come to Collier County or to the state of Florida, because we would be the lead in biomedical. To me, it's an outstanding goal, and I think Jeb Bush was brilliant for coming up with it.
We could do a whole half hour on this.
Oh, you bet we could.
But we have to move on. The courts have now ruled that independently elected clerk of courts Dwight Brock has the power to audit, investigate, look at your books, whatever he wants to do without your permission. Your reaction to that?
You know what? I've never had any stance against it. I love Dwight. I think he's a great guy. And you know, if he wants to audit, if he sees some to audit, now he audits everything before he'll pay anything. If he wants to audit afterwards, all right, fine. You know, I don't have a big deal about that.
Good, because that's the way it's going to be now.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a minute left, and you have an announcement. Your pet project on the redevelopment of Bayshore Drive. You have big news.
I do. Bayshore Cultural and Performing Arts Center on Bayshore has just gotten a partner, a new partner in Fifth Third Bank. And Gina LaCostra, who is on our board, has identified a perfect fit between them. They come from Cincinnati, and here Eric Kunzel came from Cincinnati, Master of Pops, the late Eric Kunzel. And so Fifth Third is also going to be sponsoring the entire Eric Kunzel concert series, which begins, by the way, Friday, and it's the Edison State College Bayshore Cultural and Performing Arts Center that will be presenting this.
Okay, so Fifth Third gets the naming rights.
Yes.
And they also provide.
Well, there will be some financial incentives.
Okay, so everybody's happy.
Yes, I'm thrilled with it. It's a giant step forward.
Our guest from the Collier County Commission, Donna Fiala, and up next, a chat with the upset candidate of the year, Lee County School Board's Dawn Armstrong, after this.
Read, save, share every day with the Naples Daily News. Read, savor, share every day with the Naples Daily News.